All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou. Big episode today. We're going to get into LaMelo Ball injury. We're going to talk about that. That's something I think that's on everybody's mind as the Rookie of the Year front runner and someone that's probably, is the most desired rookie really at this point among collectors in terms of opening product, really who you're looking for and what that means. Going to talk a little bit about Card Talk Live. That is coming this week. This will drop Wednesday, so if you're listening to it on opening day, it's the later today, 1:37.
See you later.
1:37 p.m. Pacific time, 4:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys check that out. We'll be on 1:37 p.m.'s Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So stop by one of those three places and check it out. We'll get into play of the week and latest launch. So full episode. But
there's also a big episode because it's Monday. We're recording Monday night. We've been recording Tuesdays, but it's currently Monday night. And there's March Madness on.
Definitely wild with March Madness on a Monday, right? It's normally Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But
why are they doing it on Monday? Just to keep it moving?
I've been wondering what is the answer to that, and then I've a couple of times wanted to tweet the question, but then I feel like I'm gonna get dragged for tweeting.
Right?
It.
Can I? Since we're in the safe space, can I ask a quick college basketball question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I consider myself someone who doesn't pay a super close attention to college basketball, but have a general understanding of what's going on, the narratives, etc.
Yep.
Luke Garza.
Yeah.
Luka Garza.
Luka Garza.
I think
all the respect in the world. I had no idea who that guy was until 2 months ago, whenever the season started, and he was a senior and blah blah blah. Has he been really popping for his entire college career?
The answer, I believe, is yes.
Okay, because I read a thing today that it was Iowa legend Luka Garza, and I'm how do I have no idea who this person was?
He plays at Iowa, not at Duke. So think Tyler Hansborough. Think Grayson Allen.
Right, but was Luka Garza I guess because they're not playing in as you don't see them as much.
They're not at a blue blood, right?
Got it.
But he's a Big Ten guy. I'm pretty sure he mattered for all 4 years. I also potentially believe that there's something is his dad a coach or something or something?
Yeah, there's something going on. But it was weird because I was I had no idea who this person was. And then this season it was Iowa legend. And I'm no disrespect, but I had no idea who that was. Anyway, let's keep going.
Okay. Yeah. He's one of those 4-year guys, I think.
Got it. Great.
Iowa loves, their 4-year guys. That's Big Ten country.
No one loves Big Ten country more than this podcast.
You're not wrong.
My sister might be going to Purdue on the low. Probably shouldn't put that on the podcast, but here we are.
But seriously, Big Ten, man, just not doing well.
Oh,
you hate to see. Ohio State getting smoked by Oral Roberts. Watch the game in the shop. I'm this is embarrassing. This is terrible, right? And then it seems like everybody's.
I let it breathe a little bit before the text came out. I did let it breathe.
Lou sending pictures of this kid crying, saying they got Ryan in tears at the game.
That was rich. But I will say the most classic and seen from a mile away thing that's happened in the entire tournament over the opening weekend was Rutgers blowing that lead.
Oh, I was so crushed.
You saw it coming from a mile and a half away.
From a mile away.
Nothing made more sense than them tasting the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
But anyways, kind of mentioned it earlier. Card Talk Live this Wednesday. It's going to be huge. Definitely check it out. 1:37 p.m. Pacific time again, 4:37 p.m. Eastern time. Ty, you want to hint at anyone else before? I know you hinted at a couple people last week. Anything else you want to talk about before the episode?
Are we revealing the opener?
We've got giveaways.
Oh.
We got giveaways.
That's a first off the line box, by the way. That's a big box.
That's one box. We got another giveaway. There's this guy. I feel I don't know. Remember when he mattered? Remember when he was in the mix?
More of a John Morant guy.
Yeah, and then we got this box. It's in bubble wrap, though. Let's see if we can get up
for the people listening on audio. Tyler just showed us a Panini Prizm football first off the line box from 2020, a 2019 Prizm. That's a hobby Prizm box, Ty. The basketball box.
Yeah.
Yep. And now, what are you unveiling here?
I'm trying not to mess it up, but
yeah,
this is a 2019-2020 flawless box.
Football, right?
Basketball.
Oh, basketball.
The sport. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Indiana sport.
We were just on a little bit of a meeting before this, and Ryan's reaction to that flawless box was phenomenal. Now, it was a little low key, but I loved it.
Keep in mind, we're giving that away.
Yeah, for free to someone.
For free. That's
Ryan wants to enter the giveaway so bad. Ryan wants in that giveaway.
I want to open it. I want to open it. I want to open the box and give away all the cards. That's what I want.
Card Talk is
an insignificant giveaway.
Card Talk Live is a situation.
And that is just some of what we're giving away. That eBay, our great partner eBay, has hooked it up with some of that. We've also got some pack wars with some serious product being broken. And yeah, then we've got guests. We've got Ryan's favorite guest in the world.
I'm so excited.
There's a couple late additions. I mean, we just did kind of like, we didn't do the final run through. We just did the final run through, and there's going to be the final. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The final's coming up, and there's definitely going to be a sneak. Yeah, you're right. It was like this was like the
Final Four.
Yeah, you're right. We're dancing, but we're not. We haven't cut down the nets yet.
We are going dancing.
Yeah. There's some more action coming. For sure. There's a lot happening. Might not sleep between now and Wednesday night, but it's
probably have a couple more meetings coming. We're gonna probably have to have some meetings for 24 hours beforehand.
Yeah, we're gonna have to meet and discuss. Circle back.
But we talk about the flawless box. 10K, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking like that's a lot, and we kind of talked about this off air. So I do want to kind of hint out, because Lou and I had a conversation about this that may be different from your opinion. I just want to open it up there and maybe get some of the listeners' takes as well here on social. But some auctions recently have not done super well, right? The market has softened in certain areas, and I think it's worth talking about because we've had a similar conversation before in the past, right? Last end of July, early August, right around when the National would have been, everything was running up for a 30-day period. Didn't matter what you bought, it all went up. And then the market cooled down, right? And you were like, hey, Lucas Prizms we're at 2K. Now they're at 1,100. And I'm like, well, hey, the guy that bought it at 2K doesn't really care what they used to be at years ago. He's concerned about what they are now. So Jordan auction is for one. Lou mentioned the LeBron Topps Chrome Refractor, a BGS 10. Lou, I think you said just did 200K?
Did 200K, yeah.
And what did the last PSA 10 sell for?
285.
So significantly less than we might expect on a BGS 10 if a PSA 10 just sold for that.
Yeah, and quick context for anyone who might not know the difference. Typically, a BGS 10 commands a premium over a PSA 10. Obviously, I wouldn't hold us to this number, but for conversation's sake, right? If I'm saying the PSA 10 of a BGS, a PSA 10 of the 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron James Refractor is 285. The BGS 10 should be where?
340.
Should be. When I say
70.
Yeah, when I say should be, meaning like historically, this is what the multiplier looks like.
Yeah, I would have said somewhere around 350K.
Yeah, so 200K is interesting.
So, I guess just we transitioned here. I think this is a large topic to discuss, and I want to kind of hit it from all angles. And there's been different tweets, obviously. Certain auction houses are running these different auctions and kind of have some bigger buyers. There was all this kind of craziness. We talked about it in a lot of our Dallas recaps. There was really that like greats kind of run up.
Yeah, in January.
Anything you touched Jordan was absolute gold. People were just buying, and kind of the numbers were just like 2xing.
Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Brady, even Mahomes kind of got in there, but a lot of the guys like Tiger had that run up. A lot of the all-time greats went up.
Yeah. And I think it then kind of not became like a signaling moment, but when outside coverage kind of comes in, it's like, oh man, this is craziness. And we're talking about January of 2021. We've been doing this podcast for, I think, coming up on 40 weeks, which is 9 months, which extends much further back. And I would say we started this podcast during a time that might have been able to be talked about as like, it's been 18 months of ridiculous run up. And then the auctions over the weekend happen. And all of a sudden there's a lot of what's going on here, bubbles bursting, this, that, the other thing. And I think for all that Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, and the basketball market speaks of, it's easy to just use it as the pull. I've kind of had that energy and push back on you guys about a little bit of like, does that mean the market is soft? And I think there's a lot of different ways to look at it. I think it's fair to admit right now that in overall basketball, trading card market is soft, as we've said. And I think the equation of supply and demand has shifted to the supply side currently. Correct? Do you guys agree with that?
Sure.
Ryan, as someone that's been around for a while, and I have my own thoughts, as someone who made their largest card purchase ever, single card purchase ever, Lou Alcindor PSA 7. I bought it for $15K. I hate talking about numbers, but I'll do this. Within, I think, 8 to 10 weeks, it was half of what I purchased it for. That card is now doing, I believe, last on eBay, 25 bin. And so I bring that up because there's all these kind of scramble moments that are happening. Just want to get you guys where your head is at on what you see or what you're thinking about on the basketball side of things, and overall just the market in reaction. Someone comes up to you and says, told you so. It's all a farce. Thoughts?
I'll let you go first, right?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like, so I look at this two different ways, right? I look at this as the GOATs market versus the basketball, right? I'm going to talk about the GOATs first, where I said it before when people were, when I was asked about like the Jordan sale specifically, right? Like I have a hard time believing that $25 million man who lives in New York that bought the 7, I'm just making a person up, right? Please no, I don't know anything about the buyer, but let's just say, to spend $750,000 on a card, my gut tells me that person's not going to try to flip it in 6 weeks for $985,000. Like that just doesn't seem like the play that you make, right? It seems likely that you're holding it for a while because there's only like 300 of them. I think it's a pop 300, give or take. Or you're going to put it in a fund and create this massive fund, or like some sort of like I forget the wording here, but like something that Rally does, right? Where you sell fractional ownership. Yep. Where you sell fractions of it, and people can buy a portion of a Jordan PSA 10. That seems likely. So when it goes to 435,000, it doesn't seem like I have a hard time believing that those guys are like fretting that like, oh man, this card's way, way down, because they didn't buy it to sell it in the next 6 weeks. Maybe they did. Again, I understand that's still a lot of money regardless. But to me, the GOAT market is, I bought I have a LeBron Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 9, right? I've had it for over a year, made a play on it in a trade last year. It got up to like $72K, never sold it. Again, I don't want to talk about numbers much either, but never sold it. Then it went down to $50K in less than a month, still didn't sell it, right? Like I'm not buying that. I'm not holding on to that card to sell it now. I'm holding on to that card to sell it in 15 years from now when LeBron is no longer playing and those cards are locked up in most collections and they're readily available. Because like you said, that supply and demand piece is going to play out, right? Like people talk about like, oh, there's a lot of them available, but 2,000 LeBron Topps Chrome 9s or 1,000 or 800 or whatever it is, I don't know the number, but it's not very many. But that long term is going to play out, right? I'm talking a decade from now. Like that will play out where, there's a lot of rich people in the world. Someone's going to want a LeBron Topps Chrome Refractor to pass down to their kid, right? And you're not going to be able to find them. They're just not readily available every single day. And I think those are the ones that I just don't stress as much about, because I just think those cards will always be desired, right? They're the cards in the card market. The basketball market's different. I haven't followed it enough to really know. Like, I don't know what a Luka's doing. I'm not, LeBron's hurt.
Mm-hmm. I moved to Luka on Saturday night. I have a couple of them and just reps, and I'm always thinking about that. I listed it on eBay. Buy it now. It's sold in 20 minutes.
For what?
I put it at $13.50, and it was the lowest bin available.
That seems like a good price, though, because we had ours at the Dallas show less than that, and they weren't moving.
I saw it took me a good portion of the weekend to move them for 1,100.
Yep.
So what I think, as I'm thinking about us talking this, and in general, different signals have kind of come in of like, LeBron's at 400, it was at 700, it's not $1 million, the sky is falling. Sure. And I just go back to the patience, education, reps. How does it impact what you got going on? If there's maybe a wavering in demand, where's that demand going? What can you learn from it? How does it impact you? All of those things versus seeing signals and reacting based on outside forces. And because also, what is happening in this world, and again, Ryan, you've been around a lot longer, but we go to Dallas, we interact with all these people, these are like business decisions, and these are monetary decisions that people are making. I would just stress your own conviction, your own gut, your own education, and paying attention to more things than just one card, one price to denote what is happening.
Yeah, that's a great point. The market has so much going on, right? Like, didn't the Brady Contenders Champ ticket just break the original record it set like a month earlier? Like, there was one on Golden, and then I think Leland's did one, or I know his name's Jordan on Instagram. I know he runs like a auction page, and they just sold one that I thought broke the Golden record. It seems like there's, whether it's the Jordan's going down, something's definitely gone up in the meantime, right? And not every single thing is not movable. I can tell you, I own a card. Like I said, I own a shop. Fridays and Saturdays are still really, really busy. There's a lot of people looking for a lot of different things, and the market is still, there's a lot of people in this looking for different stuff, right? I mean, one thing that hasn't gone down, optic football, right? Like not everything. And I think that's
something that's not down right now. Mike Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout. I don't follow his market as much, but yeah, I just, one thing falling to say the whole market is soft is, probably a little bit of an overstatement.
Yep. While also then realizing that the market can get soft. Like, we don't, there's also not like all roses all the time. Amazing.
We talked about this in July, right? Like a business is not something goes up unlimited for an unlimited amount of time and never loses money. That's not how a business works, right? So in July, we talked about everything we bought for a 4-week period. The next day it was worth more money. If you sold it, you're like, dude, a week later, it's up 20%. That's not normal, right? Mass influx of people getting into the market. And then stuff hit the fan and people are like, okay, maybe I can get a Luka at a better price rather than just buying the first one I see. You slow down a bit, and that causes the market to settle down, right? Luka's Prizm, PSA 10's got as high as like 1850, 1900. They were pushing 2K, went all the way down to 1100. And your point was, these are $400 a year ago, right? And that's the point I make on the Jordan is a year ago, literally, today's the 22nd. On March 16th, we were forced to close by the governor, and I was closed for 1 day shy of 2 months, right? Like, I sold a massive Jason Tatum deal thinking the first thing that's going to go away when COVID happens is hobbies, right? I was concerned I wasn't going to be able to pay bills. What was a Jordan PSA 10 at that time? I would love to know. let's assume under $100,000.
March 25th, 2020, 42K a PSA 10 sold for.
42K. That card is still up 10x from where it was a year ago, right? And I think that's the bigger picture here is a lot of people have done really well in the last year of card market and the last year in the card market. And I feel optimistic about the future of the card market, right? A lot more attention on it. So again, not everything's going to go up 100% of the time, right? You're going to buy something. And I think that's a point you make, Tyler, about repetition, right? It's not always a bad thing to get punched in the mouth when you spend $1,000 and it goes to $700 real quick. MC Sports Cards talked about it on the show. Are you going to sell for 700? Or are you going to hold out hoping that you get back your original 1,000? Can you put that 7 into something else and reinvest? And I think it teaches you a lot. Again, I'm not sure many of our listeners are buying $450,000 Jordans.
Totally.
But the principle is there.
Yeah. Lou, your thoughts?
I'm aligned with Ryan. I also, like, I would say I'm going to preface everything I'm saying here with I've spent the whole entire weekend looking at cards that I'm trying to buy and make plays on. I was texting you guys today about a Wander Franco auto card that I'm trying to make a play on. Like, all of this is prefaced with I couldn't be more excited to buy with the current situation because I feel like there's opportunities to make inroads that you want to make. With that said, I would say I agree that 4 months ago, the card, like, we're using the Jordan, let's use the Jordan 10 because that's the highlight. We agree that the Jordan 10 was $350,000 on Christmas Day or whatever the number was, compared to $500K today. Aligned. LeBron Refractor was $80K compared to where it is today, right? At the same time, it would be facetious to say that things feel as hot as they did 4 weeks ago, current to this exact, like, as opposed to this exact moment. The panic and the dramatics is panic and dramatics, and that's been happening in a 6 to 8 month cycle for the last 3 years, and that'll never stop. But I think it would be wrong to say things remain as hot as they have been in this exact moment in time. Will it remain this way? Probably not. I'm a long-term believer in the thing, but at this moment, it definitely feels a little bit slower on the higher end items that have built up like the hype of what cards are.
And this is going to happen. Let's just preface. This is going to continue to happen, right? Like think about what's coming, right? Like you can, we talked about this before with Dallas. There's a couple things that come to my mind. Dallas, May 24th-ish. NFL drafts happen. 2021 stuff comes out. You're getting ready for training camp. The Nationals is 2 months away. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. Football will be hot looking for it, right? I've also been told, and I haven't confirmed the date, so I don't want to sound naive, but it sounds like there's a Magic Johnson documentary coming out at some point, right? Magic Johnson stuff is going to run up when that happens, right? You're going to have a documentary. It's going to be all about Magic. It's going to be awesome. His stuff will spike. And then a month after the documentary, we'll talk about, man, Magic Johnson stuff's really down. Yeah, like, this is going to happen again.
You know, it's going to be funny when the Jordan Fleer is $1 million and then it goes for 700 and then people are like, ah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. What's been on my mind as this is all kind of the conversations have been coming about, and I feel we had a responsibility to address this weekend's auctions, I guess you could say, and what that means for the market. I don't think it's one way or the other because, again, as an avid soccer person, go look at the Erling Haaland and Mbappe markets and tell me things are soft. You know, so like what?
No, yeah, I take it back.
What were you gonna say?
Nothing bad. It was actually going to be good. Keep going.
Got it. So what I was gonna say is that I think we've now addressed it, and I believe that all of it can be true. And to be a well-rounded and to learn from the reps and be in the game and continue to see what's going on, it's important to note what that means while also understanding that there are also pockets that are still doing very well. And these things are good and healthy because, again, we could have gone through more and more go, and then imagine what the kind of correction or drawback is, because to the point of Christmas Day, January 3rd, 2021, a Jordan 10 sold for $222,630. Right? So it's just very important to be able to step back with keeping your gut intact, because it's not lost on me if you spend $700 on a card and it goes to $250, what that can mean. But pain, severe pain. Or if you buy Michael Porter Jr. at $315 and then it does $200, again, what that can mean. But I think it's important to understand, what are you looking to accomplish? What are your theses? What are your beliefs? Why do you believe in them? What are the things that you look for analysis and research, and continue to make the decisions based on what is in your best interest and how's it working? Because there's a lot of signaling that continues to happen. Our podcast can be one of them. And I think this moment just reminds me of, what are you looking to accomplish, and what are you doing when you are presented with new information, new data, and how are you making your own decisions?
It's your principle of how you feel about the thing, and then the lessons of all the little things that happen every day.
Yep.
I think the doing your own research part is important. Right. But you got to.
And also, the problem with doing your own research, though, we should get off of this, but the problem with one of the issues with doing your own research sometimes is you don't have the context points of the larger situation. Because, like, if you're just doing your own research, you're looking at a Jordan 10 that went for 700 and that went for 500. You're like, what? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Context is important too.
Yeah,
context is definitely important. It's also National Water Day, and hydration is important. Shout out the boys.
All the homies getting hydrated, baby. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of, while we're on it, we're talking about hot and cold markets. LaMelo Ball out for the year. Rookie of the year front runner.
Beast,
right? Looks great. Probably surprised a lot of people. And I think this is an important discussion, because while maybe a lot of our listeners might not be buying a Jordan 10, a lot of our listeners probably have some sort of LaMelo Ball card, right?
Or trying to get one, at least.
Yeah, or trying to get one. And we talked about this with Joe Burrow, because I think this is important about these type of things happen on markets that are very, very, very hot, and it's things outside of your control. Just want to kind of get your guys' take on what this means for LaMelo's market, the basketball market, and what you think about buy, sell, hold.
I have a question for you. I'm not sure how much thought you put against this. Probably not that much now that I think about it. But what do you think it does for, like, what do you think the cost of the Hornets in a Prizm break would have been in 2 weeks?
A box or a case?
Choose a box.
So a box pre-sells online right now for about $2,500. So if you're just buying the Hornets, you're probably looking at 25% of box price. Mm-hmm. So you're probably go ahead.
Will that affect the way that you price out breaks or no?
So we don't.
It's just a math game of.
Yeah, it's still a math game, because I asked this on Instagram yesterday. I asked a poll. I said, does LaMelo Ball's injury hurt the price of Prizm basketball? The biggest basketball release of the year is set for March 31st, 9 days from now. Mm-hmm. Does that hurt the box price? I can tell you right now, the poll's still live.
What do we got? What's the data say?
Tell us what the people are saying, Ryan.
This is great. I'm glad we did this.
This is phenomenal.
Wait, before you say it, before you look.
I haven't pulled it up.
What do you think it's going to say?
It's going to say it's going to hurt it, right?
Yeah. But I disagree.
I agree with you.
And I'll tell you why. Hold on.
I think it provides more hype. More prospecting.
50-50.
Is it really?
No way. Oh, that's my amazing. God.
And you kind of got juice. I see you. You're about to hit 60K on IG.
Realistically.
He's getting a lot of votes. The whole thing.
It's going to be verified.
45 votes for dips, and there's 1325 for votes for stays north of 2K a box. So it's currently pre-selling on Blowout for $2,500. At least it was prior to the injury. I have not looked since. I believe in an open product. I think it's a big thing long term, right? I've told Lou about this before, and I think I got Lou on that train a while ago. Like, the breakers market is so big for cards, right? Like Lou said, what's it going to cost for the Hornets in a breaker? What it cost for a random team? That low risk, high reward to get into Prizm or to get into a box, that is such a big part of the market now. And someone's like, hey, I'll join a break, right? That the community aspect of it was the very first thing we ever talked on Card Talk about, was the community aspect behind breaking, right? And I think it's really, really big. So while, some people may not break it because LaMelo's not, going to be playing this year, his stuff will likely dip, yes. But if you believe in LaMelo, you're buying LaMelo regardless if he's out this year or not. And so do I anticipate the boxes will dip from 25? Maybe a little, but, if they go to $1,500 a box, breakers will buy them and sit on them and just break them for time.
My question, actually, really, my initial thought was like, man, I hope breakers aren't going to get crushed by this, because it was pre-selling for so much. I think that's the first time I've ever thought that in my life, but I did. So, like, I guess they won't. It'll be fine.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Ryan, you have a shop in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Do people still come in asking about Joe Burrow cards?
Oh, yeah. Joe Burrow is a humongous seller. Huge seller.
So, is that because I have a question? Is that because it's hometown, or it's because it's the number one pick, or both? I'm guessing both.
It's definitely the hometown vibe for sure.
Yeah, so that's a little more immune to the thing, right?
Joe Burrow stuff, like, there's a discrepancy between Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow for sure. Like, Herbert sells significantly higher than
deservedly so.
Yeah, 30 to 40% higher, right?
Question: if Herbert had the season that he had, and Burrow continued down the path that he had, do you think the discrepancy would be as big?
No shot. A Burrow would be higher.
Even though Herbert, like, arguably had one of the greatest rookie campaigns of all time?
Burrow played, I would want to check this. I believe Burrow was playing earlier. I would have, again.
I'm just trying to bring up some context, because I deeply believe actually that doesn't change much at all. I don't think many people have watched LaMelo Ball play basketball.
People are into prospecting. Look at the way Jordan sells. Yeah. I think we sit here today and say Jordan Love is likely not going to start a game the next 2 years. We going to agree with that?
Yes. Robot Ryan checked in for a second.
I'm trying to agree with your internet right now, but
Robot Ryan checked in for a second. But yes, I agree. Jordan Love is probably not going to play for the next 2 years, and his stuff's still selling super well.
Hundreds of dollars, right? I sold a Contenders auto from Draft, 2 of 2 for like $250, $300 or something. Like, that's a lot for a guy that's not going to see the field anytime soon. People are still willing to pay a good amount of money for a guy that is coming off an injury and isn't going to play for a while. So,
Ryan, can I ask you a question? Wait, real quick. I don't know if you want to answer this question or not. $300 for a Jordan Love Contenders auto? That seems like a lot.
It was 2 of 2. It was draft auto. It was BGS 9.
It was a duel?
No, it was a BGS draft. Like, it was a draft picks Contenders, right, in the first products of the year.
Got it.
College uniform rookie auto numbered 2 out of 2 BGS 9. It's about
okay, that's fine. I thought it was like I thought it was like the one that just came out, like the base Contenders auto.
I'll look. I would imagine a base ticket auto sells for more than 300.
All right, so
that seemed like a good. Okay, sorry. Different conversation for a different day.
I don't think it impacts it much at all, and I actually think it puts LaMelo in a weirder spot because of how good he was playing. I mean, he was definitely playing better than Burrow was playing for his team, in my opinion. 1, 2, I've been thinking this for quite some time now. I actually think modern basketball, I think the Lukas, different players, Trey for that matter, I think that they're buys right now. In general, as a sports fan, even though sometimes in the comments people say that we don't know anything about sports, as a general sports fan,
that really hurt Ty.
Yeah, it definitely hurt.
That's the second time he brought up the jump shot.
It definitely hurt. I was perturbed. But I actually think the NBA is soft. Like, I think, like,
I agree.
Attention around the NBA is low right now.
It's been on for a year in a row, it feels like.
Literally.
They had the bubble and they came back like 25 minutes later. It's too much basketball.
It's just been nonstop. So I think people are kind of forgetting about it. And the lowest All-Star game, I believe, like no one tuned into that joint. The players are like kind of checked out. But what I do think, and we even, we don't know anything about sports. We didn't know that the NBA this year has the play-in tourney for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think once that starts to heat up a little bit, once you get into that little play-in tourney, stuff's going to get bonkers. I mean, Trae Young and the Hawks have won 8 straight.
They're going for March Madness vibes, and they're going to get it.
And I think they're going to get it in a big way.
Yeah.
And so when I speak, a bit about, is that tied to Jordan coming down? I'm not sure. But in general, I think the NBA is in its least cared about phase
in the several years.
In a long time.
I agree completely.
Just wanted to get
that.
I
think that has anything to do with the NFL and MLB and NHL being so much less price-wise on superstars compared to the NBA? Because the NBA stuff seems to sell much. And when we started this, NBA stuff was certainly like it runs the market. We've talked about that before, right? Like people want the superstars for NBA. Like a Luka Prizm 10 is $1,350. A Kyler Prizm 10 is $550.
$550. Yeah, no, I think it's what Tyler just said. It's exhaustion. It's too much basketball.
Yeah, I just
if you're watching, it feels like basketball has been on every single day since like June. That's what it feels like.
Agreed. And I just think that is, like Trae should be selling for the most he's ever sold for at this moment, in my opinion, based on performance and where he's at.
And his market is anything but hot.
Yeah. Yeah. And and to go back to, let's wrap this up a little bit, to go back to the LaMelo thing, him not playing helps his narrative. And narrative does way more for cards than performance ever will. So same thing with Burrow, what could have been this year, blah, 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 blah. It's the narrative.
Just wait until the National when we're a month away from football starting and everyone's like, it happened last year. Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock, Kyler, Daniel Jones, and Gardner Minshew all sold well. Right? Like, this is their year. This is their year. And then the season happens, and you're like, okay, well, who's about to start again? And then it switches to the next thing. It's like almost when the season's here, like some of the stuff just doesn't move as much as it does in the offseason as we get closer and closer to the start of the season.
If you're paying attention, Ryan just shot this sneaky little bomb for anyone who might be trying to attend the National.
That's not the first time we've dropped that bomb, though.
Interesting. I agree, but interesting little place to consider as you're heading into it. You're planning a summer trip. You got your vaccine. You're ready to rock and roll. Just saying. And if you're watching this show for sports knowledge, you're watching the wrong show. Let's move on.
Correct. But I did want to throw out that if you're watching this show for finding out how many followers these people have on Instagram, it is good to note that LaMelo Ball has 2.9 million more followers on Instagram than last year's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Billy 46. Talking about jump shots.
LaMelo Ball has 6.6 million followers on Instagram compared to Ja Morant's 3.7, which is a fairly healthy amount for Ja.
And all those kids have the cool Instagram names too. They all have like Mello and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should drop a nugget in here before we transition. If you have not booked your hotel for the National and you're planning to go to the National, this is your reminder. I will be that reminder person. As someone that's been to the Chicago National 4 times now, the way the Rosemont Convention is set up, the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center has 4 hotels connected to it. 4 hotels. If you are interested in daily trade nights, buying, selling, trading in hotel lobbies, things like that, I promise you it pays to be at one of those. Convenience matters in this instance for sure. So if you're interested in that, you should have booked your hotel already.
And don't make the mistake of staying in downtown Chicago and have to drive 45 minutes like a certain group of people might have done for 2018 National.
And talk about a play of the week. Book your damn hotel room.
Yeah. So that is our side note. But again, we're going to get into play of the week like Tyler just hinted at. Again, play of the week is brought to you by eBay, your number one spot for cards and collectibles. Like we always say, if you're new here, this is where Jason, one of our producers, will show us plays of the week submitted by you, the listeners. to our Instagram page. It's Card Talk Pod on IG. Lou, Tyler, and I have not seen these, but we'll talk about them each individually, and then we'll pick a winner for play of the week. So, Jay, what do we got this week?
Big moment here for Jay.
Oh,
the police. Interesting.
The police.
All right, so Ethan Young.19 said, I got 2 Barry Sanders 1989 Lions police rookie card. Their PSA 9, $270 total. In my opinion, this is a better looking rookie card for Barry Sanders and is a much, much lower pop than his 1989 score. This is a pop 438, and he's the best running back of all time. Love the pod. Been here from the start.
First and foremost, Ethan Young.19. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. 19 is a great number. My father wore that in college lacrosse. My good friend wore it as well. I respect 19. Second, there's something about these cards that are super fresh. Thoughts?
I'm a big fan in the same way that when I first looked at this, I thought about like the press conference photos. I love a good press conference photo. Luis Robert's Bowman Chrome is a like a press conference introduction photo. Big fan.
Doesn't do much for me. Don't prefer the press conference photo. I'd prefer some sort of. I know the Barry Sanders score isn't the in-game photo, so I'm not arguing that. But again, I'm gonna lean in the hey. If I wanted to spend $270, I'd buy a Barry Sanders certified Immortals game used patch auto at a 25 for a similar price rather than this. Again, to each his own. Cool play. Also, the one thing I think to point out on this that it might be missed is this looks like an oversized card. Harder to store, harder to display, a little bit more of a pain in the rear end than your typical sports card. So doesn't quite do it for me.
One thing I'm just checking out real quick, and that I actually really respect the play because it's something I've been spending a lot of time on and I've been chatting about, is I do respect the PSA 9 play.
100%.
I do respect the PSA 9 play in a world where when I first was coming into things, it was like you get 10s and like 9s were kind of like not as good. As grading is a tougher scene, as prices have gone to places that they weren't at 2-3 years ago, I've started to say, hey, every time you look at something, you don't have to just come in and say, okay, PSA 10, and then everything else is an afterthought. I really respect the dialing in as a PSA 9 because 20% profit on this is 26 plus the eBay fees, 130 is a sale of this for 175 or 180 does not seem crazy for me and is a decent margin. And so just, in terms of inventory and bankroll and all that, Barry Sanders legend, love me a good Oscar Mayer logo, love me a good NFL logo, top right. Not sure what, is that probably the Dallas Police or Lions Police, top left. I'm a fan of the card aesthetically as a collector. If you're a Lions fan, I think that's something you got to have. It's a good start in the make a play. Jay, I see what you're doing here through a little different vibes. You went with like a just classic curveball.
Mm-hmm. Next.
Can we go back one second real quick?
Oh, man.
Let's give some love to Ethan Young, 19 on IG, please. I think it's got 18 followers. I think a couple more people on Card Talk follow. Go shout out my man. Give him some love.
All right, so this is a 1997 England David Beckham rookie card sealed pack. It says my submission for this is from Swook. Is that how it's pronounced? Swook, SWOOK _ It looks like Andrew. It said my submission for play of the week is a 1997 Upper Deck David Beckham, 3 sealed packs for 520 total, 173 each. He said PSA 9 copies have touched nearly 2K. Beckham's first England jersey card, sealed pack with a guaranteed Beckham in each gives the best chance at a higher grade, and at 173 per pack, even an 8 would be profitable.
I'm interested in this. Go ahead, Ray.
My first thought on this, every time we have someone that says they're going to grade something, is a 9 or a 10 sells for, in this case, sells for that much money for a reason. is it that unobtainable to get a 9? Like, is this card that's like notorious for chipping? Like, do these cards stick in the pack? Because you can see the sort of cellophane pack. Because if they stick and you got to pull it off, you're going to get a PSA 5 on the surface, and then you're not getting a 5. Then you're losing money, and you don't have an unopened pack. So that's what I don't know is how easy is it to actually get an 8 or a 9.
I'm aligned. I'm having major cat issues right now, so I'm muting and unmuting my mic because I have an angry cat in the room. But, yeah, I agree. I feel like to me, if you have this card, you are a person who if you just had it in your closet and like, this is a situation where I'm looking at the seller and I want to know what their eBay score is. Like, are they a person who buys and sells soccer cards? Because then they would have an idea of what this card would grade at. And if they're keeping it in there, I'm less inclined. Like you're saying, there must be something wrong. I'm missing something like that. But if it's a random person, it's interesting. I would love to see what it grades out at.
I would normally agree with that. I think that's actually a fair point, especially in like raw cards. But the one thing to say is prices have gone up for grading recently. Maybe if someone's just like, hey, I'll just take my money rather than spend $100 and wait 4 months to get the card back. Like, I think you're with the increase in grading prices, it's not unrealistic to say that we're going to see better raw cards on eBay here or available for sale unless people are likely to be grading them.
That's fair. But like we always say, it's just a math equation. And if the person who has the card only costs them $200, $300 to grade it at an express level, money's still there. But yeah.
Ty?
I'm just getting a little focused here. It looks like there's some PSA 9s, 8s. I'm just trying to break it down a little bit. March 7th, 1 for 100, 263 on March 5th for just the raw. There was one was bought raw, benefits charity on March 12th for a buy it now. 217 on March 13th for bids. A buy it now. There was a best offer. I'm not sure what the number landed at, but 400 with a strike through from Norway. Yeah, I don't know what the pack overall. I like it. I think it's 173, 100, 150 to grade it. Might take a while to get back. Again, to your point, we don't know in the cellophane pack. What I was trying to break down is maybe is it safer to just buy it raw? I'm not sure what else comes in that sealed pack, as well as are we sure?
Can you do anything else with the other cards?
Yeah, can you do anything else with the other cards, or is it safer to maybe just make the raw play versus getting it in the pack with the other cards?
I think the play on the raw pack here, or the pack here, is no human hands, right? Like less contact, less likely to be smoked. So this, I mean, the thought might be that it's
Yep. And then the other thing I was going to say is, like, I have a box of those right here with 24 packs with a sneaky play that I made. So I like the play. I'm a fan of the play.
All right, so I think this one, the England packs, would probably rank higher for me so far than the Barry Sanders.
I agree.
I'm aligned.
I agree.
Okay. So
Also, because Beckham is a legend in his own right. Like,
right,
Barry
Jay?
Sanders is a legend, but like to prove how much we know sports, Beckham is a legend too.
Jay? All right, so play of the week 321. This is from the Cardboard Collaborative. It says, purchased a Justin Herbert base mosaic off eBay for $45 all in. Sent it to a private signing in Texas to have it autographed and authenticated for another $165, including shipping. Sold it at a show over the weekend for $600. Longer play, but almost 3 times the return. Photo below. I saw someone do this the other day, and I must say, super jealous I didn't get involved in it. Such a smart idea. I did this once with the Mike Trout signing. Did really, really well on it. I think it's such an intriguing play where, I mean, look at the blue pen. Looks amazing. If you're not watching on video, it's a mosaic base rookie with a neon blue autograph. It looks incredible. So to me, absolutely love the play. I think this is Mosaic's a sticker auto, right? And I think Prizm's a sticker auto. So this might be kind of a play if you get it authenticated, I like the play.
So, right on that, because my boy just made a Bradley Beal on card auto pickup. What is, I feel like one of the, outside of the, hey, just pull this out of my attic, what's it worth question, I feel like the next kind of most question I get from people that are like, oh, I got some things that might be expensive, or I got this opportunity. My friend's got a guy that's connected to this guy. Like, should I get him to autograph this thing? And generally the answer is like, no. Sounds like you have a little bit of a different energy here. What's your thoughts on like grading that card?
I think the thought is like I see people get them, and everybody's different, right? So this is just all personal preference, right? To each his own. But I've seen like people get like a Brady 101 patch card autographed.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't do anything for me, because like a Brady 101 patch card might be worth $2K. I'd rather just keep the card in original form and buy a Brady autographed jersey or helmet and spend my $2K there and have both, or have that instead. This is just an instance where it's a cheaper card and it's just like a base rookie. Like I have a 58 Topps signed Jim Brown. I like the idea of having a rookie card signed, like a key rookie card, especially like Mosaic, Prizm, Optic, something like that. Like this signed and held long term. It's also a lot cheaper. That's a big thing. Like you get this card, have it PSA slabbed, authentic, like a rookie auto. Like I've got the 58 Jim Brown. I think it's a cool thing on certain occasions or certain instances, but not on every single card. Like I'm not just getting any Justin Herbert card signed. I think this is a great choice.
Got it. Makes sense to me. I've always been of like, no, don't get it signed, but it feels like that's just some different energy. And I think to your point, just like creates different pieces and is a base mosaic. So you're not like damaging something of already high value, kind of creates some uniqueness around this.
And I like this one again. He put 45 in, 165 autographs. So you're what, 210? That's not a ton of risk on this. I feel pretty good that you could probably have gotten. I would have, without even looking. You're like, hey, I could have at least break even on this, at least make a couple bucks. Ended up getting 600 for it. I would never have guessed $600. I would have guessed a lot less, but definitely felt like a safe play. But I love this play for sure. This is my winner. This is my leader so far.
This is your leader in the clubhouse. I'm still on the Beckham train, but what I'm trying to figure out is I have this box that I was gifted actually for a free pack to be opened on your behalf. I'm not sure if that predated this one by a year, which I feel like it might have. So I'm still getting educated on the whole England packs, but I'm still in Beckham land personally.
Lou, you prefer this one or Beckham?
I will say I like this one better because I was taken aback by how much he sold it for.
Yeah, I agree. I like this one. All right, Jay, next one. All right.
And he sold it at the show, which is a good job.
So this is from Lazy Dragon _cards. It says, for Make a Play, I picked up a LeBron James Upper Deck 32 card rookie box set for $86. Can sell the complete set for $280 or PSA value, submit the cards. Each card at PSA 9 goes for $100 plus. Awesome set since this is LeBron rookie year and has some great action shots as well as the iconic shot with the USA flag in the back. Like the play of getting it cheap, piecing it out. I like that play. I don't love the idea of counting a grade before it happens. That is naive to think. Again, I'm not calling out Lazy Dragon.
Especially those. There's so many of these.
Yeah, this is a super common set, but I just think it's naive to say, yeah, these are $150 as PSA 9s. I'm gonna guess you send in the whole set, half or less get that. Again, math still works out in your favor. I'm not arguing that. I feel like these cards sell for a lot because they're harder to get good grades on. And he also mentions value submit the cards. Value submit turnaround times what? 9 months, 12 months? Like, what does the market look like on these a year from now? What if you get all 6s and 7s a year from now? So I think there's a lot that goes into it. But he did mention, give him some credit. He said he got it for $86 and could sell the set for $280. that's a win in itself.
I would take my 280 or my 200 and run.
I would piece out the lot.
Would you?
You can get
And sell them
$15.
raw?
You can get $15 a card on every one of those cards. Every single one of those cards is on eBay for $14.99, right?
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. If you can, then yeah.
I put this a bit similar in the Beckham play, and something that I've been thinking about with LeBron. I hold one LeBron card, and it's the Topps Chrome. But I do believe that that card has some vulnerability to it because of the plethora of what could be considered LeBron's rookie card comparatively to other cats. Ryan, you're giving me a little furrowed brow.
Yeah. So are you saying you don't like this card because there's a lot of them?
No, I'm saying I like this because I think over time, I'm not sure how it plays out of what is the LeBron piece and what is meaningless. If it's got a 03 on it and it's got a brand like Upper Deck, I think it's got a shot to matter over the next 15 years of his career. Because when I think about narratives and storytelling, Andy K was picking up some like Topps Pristine LeBron's. Just even over the last 18 months, I feel like there's been an emergence. You got the bazooka, you got the, holding the jersey. There's just all these different LeBrons. And when I think about the equation of LeBron supply and demand, I just think people are more in the business of trying to make plays now and then narrate why their play matters. And I could see this having a healthy rise over the next 24 months based on new entrants coming into the hobby, maybe deciding they like certain things more than the other. And there's a little bit more room to argue against what is LeBron's rookie in a world where there's a ton of 03 LeBron comparatively. What are we looking at here?
I took this picture the other day.
Okay. Explain a little bit for the listeners.
It's this same set.
Okay.
Was going through some stuff to price it, and I pulled all of these out because I thought the same exact thing. These are 12. I mean, depending on which ones, $10 to $20 a piece on most. That seems cheap for a guy that, 5-10 years from now won't have any cards produced when he retires, and he's not a part of the NBA Players Association anymore. Like
that's why LeBron autos are the single greatest thing you can buy, in my opinion. I still hold that opinion.
LeBron is going to remain relevant long after basketball, and his stuff will be desired as this card market explodes, right? You're still going to basketball is going to continue to rise. I just have a hard time believing LeBron stuff long term. Just it isn't a safe play, and $10 to $20 on a LeBron rookie card, that seems relatively cheap when that's the price of a lot of Luka rookie cards. I understand it's not Topps Chrome. I understand it's not Prizm, but Luka Chronicles rookie cards sell for $20. I'm buying a LeBron, even if it's a set card, before I'm buying that card.
Agreed. Which is, I think because of it being LeBron, because of the prices on this personally would be my play of the week. Something that hit me the other day is, I think it was the Durant white paper came in like a hanger pack that was like Topps rookie set, and it was just like a sealed pack with like all the rookies. And I think you lose touch over time of like what was the narrative that kind of set the market as to these things. One of the reasons the 86 Fleer is so iconic is that there was no basketball cards produced for a bit of time, and then that was the set that kind of brought them back, to my understanding. So there was this massive amount of kind of rookies or second year, but really a rookie in there. And that was the only thing. And so that is the card. There is no, unless you want to talk about the 85 Interlake, I can have that conversation. But so I like this play a lot because I think LeBron is LeBron. And something else that's in my mind, LeBron is very smart. Maverick, they are very smart. You can't convince me that he doesn't know what's going on with this market, cards and his specifically. And I think at some point he comes out and kind of says what his rookie card is, and it could change everything.
And please know, I don't think we're saying these are $1,000 cards, but $20 to $40 in a year's is a pretty good return.
Agreed.
And I just don't think it's unrealistic that these have potential to rise even a little bit in time, as not everybody can afford a thousands of dollars Topps Chrome rookie. It's a lot more obtainable to get a $15 to $25 one. And like he said, the iconic one with the flag in the back. I mean, if you look at this picture, right? Like I was looking at some of these the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Some of these photos are actually pretty cool, right? Like not the coolest thing in the world, but that how is this much different than the Topps rookie card?
But yeah,
Same photo.
I think the 03 number 6 that's on the screen here of him in the Irish jersey, his high school.
I was just gonna. When I was a kid, the Irish jersey was the thing,
bro. With for some reason he had like the grip tape on his like right here, like
the high school jersey. Same thing, St. Mary was the thing when he was in high school.
Facts.
All right, so I think we can all say that this one is this is our winner so far. Jay, what's the next one? Luca, this is from Holiday Cards. It says Luca's rookie sticker from Italy, bought 2 raw at $45.50 per. Very low pop card, and with the Euro market coming into the industry and Luca's Euro pull, this is my play of the week. So one thing I will say is we've just graded a bunch of these recently. This is a very hard card to grade. Very, 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 very hard card.
Is there a reason? Is just the material's bad?
It's super. So I mean, it's a sticker, right? Super flimsy. Don't know specifically what they don't like about it, but I just know this has been very challenging to grade for us.
Makes sense. I think the centering on these things can be incredibly brutal at times. I think you can get super like what looks like clean corners, but kind of dinged up. I think surface, both front and back, matters. And on the stickers, the backs definitely can be like not thought about.
I think the thought is there, right? Like logically, it makes sense that Luca being from Europe, where stickers are popular, this has potential. The one thing I will say is this doesn't always translate across markets, right? Like that stickers go into other sports because they're popular in soccer, that they magically become popular in basketball. Not saying that's what he's implying here, but that trend doesn't always work. So with Luca having a surplus of rookie cards, this is a unique play, possibly long term. Like Tyler always looks for those, I know Gary talks about like the icy cards, or Tyler talked about the Inner Lake or something like that. Possibly, it's not my favorite play in the world.
I'm aligned with you for all the same reasons. This is like the Euro sticker thing feels like a little bit of a stretch for the purposes of making a stretch. So for me, it's a pass.
Agreed. What just popped into my mind, and I think about in the same way we kind of went on this little like rant of know your thesis and all that. I believe that there are people out there that are solely doing like NBA Euro sticker game and can be that individual. I just worry about going like complete side because you see someone made a Luca Euro sticker play and like then going hard on it and just acting like because you've seen one person make that play, all of a sudden like you're going to be rich and you order a ton of them and then you don't realize the work that goes into like they don't all grade. So now you got to buy a bunch of them and like watch your margin. And like, I believe someone is dominating the Panini 2018 basketball Panini sticker game. I think that to just as a basketball card person, to all of a sudden think you're going to be buying these raw and understand it and not realize that there's probably an immense bit more amount of work that needs to go into it, even down to understanding pockets of demand and how you can find them. You got to be thoughtful about it.
And those don't look great in slabs either.
Yeah. They're smaller, right?
They're smaller, but they don't make the smaller slabs.
All right, Jay, what's the last one? I'm still sticking with the LeBron set for now.
Agreed. That is the last one, I believe. Yep. That's 5. Yeah.
We got to play of the week.
Can we go through them again one more time?
Yeah.
LeBron.
I'm going LeBron as well.
Going LeBron.
LeBron is the player of the week. Lazy Dragon.
Lazy Dragon card.
Having a day.
You know, it's kind of. I think he might be the second person that has like a super dope. He literally has a Lazy Dragon with a jersey on as his.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense for his brand.
His logo. It's a good job by him, but the dragon's holding something. I'm just not sure what. Maybe it's something that makes him lazy. That is Lazy Dragon _cards. Lazy Dragon _cards. One word. Go work.
We'll reach out with some prize for this week's contest.
You're gonna get to make a play, T.
All right. So that's all we got for this week. For play of the week. Again, play of the week is brought to you by eBay, your number one spot for cards and collectibles. All right, last thing. This week's releases. It is a relatively big release week, not in terms of Prizm or Select, but we've got. I'm going to flip through these very quickly, and then I'm going to tell you guys something because I think you guys will want to hear about this.
Oh, I definitely want to hear about it.
We've got Upper Deck Series 2 Hockey, which will be big. That's a staple product for hockey. You got Opening Day Baseball. You have Panini Absolute Memorabilia Basketball, always a fun set. Heritage Baseball, Leaf Lumber Baseball, and Encased Football. Cool. A lot of good stuff. Nothing the best of all time.
I believe Absolute Basketball might make an appearance on Card Talk, but keep going.
Looking forward to that. But we talked earlier about, is Prizm going to dip under 2K? What's the market going to be like post LaMelo? Prizm first off the line basketball drops tomorrow morning at Dutch Auction. So it will have completed auction before this episode airs. It starts at $4,000 per box and will
Isn't it 45?
I think it's 4 or 4K. I thought it was 4 or 45. I thought it was 4. I'll check right now. I have it up. It is. It's loading. You think it's 4,500?
I think I saw 40. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I saw 4,500.
4,500.
Banger.
$4,500 a box start. It comes with like a shimmer. It comes with look for 2 exclusive shimmers numbered to 35 or less in every first off the line box. You're chasing gold shimmer prisms out of 10 and black shimmers numbered to 1 of 1s. That's what you're looking for. So this will be our real test for how well is Prizm going to do when these boxes sell.
Right. Real quick. Can you give a quick explainer on what a Dutch auction is?
Yeah, so essentially they started out at, X price, this case 4,500, and then it goes down, the price drops every 5 minutes until it sells out. But at whatever point you decide to get in on the action on is what you pay per box. So if you're like, this is going to be the hottest product ever, I believe in LaMelo Ball, he's the best thing since sliced bread, I'm going to buy a box and save it for 10 years, and you just rush in there and buy one at 4,500, the price might drop 3 or 4 more times and go to, let's say, 3,800, and you paid 4,500 and somebody else paid 3,800. So you get it at whatever you pay for it at that time before it sells out. So some people, what happens is you're like, you know what? This product's going to fall. It's only going to do 2K a box. You wait, and then it sells out at 3K a box and you miss. So it's kind of trying to get an idea of where you think it's going to sell out and where you're comfortable paying, find something reasonable in there, and then buying a box at that point. So,
and you, like as the consumer, you're not made aware of how many they have, correct?
I would assume if they told you all of the shimmers, it would basically just become a math problem. If there's a checklist out, it's number of cards in the checklist times, and then you do the math problem for, there's 10 gold shimmers of each player, there's a black shimmer of each player, and then if they're, in the years past, there's been a light blue, a dark blue, and like a red, right? Like let's say they're all numbered to like 35, and then you just do the math on how many there are, and it would tell you box numbers. I don't assume the checklist will be out, or 2, they're going to tell you all the colors of shimmers, so it would make it harder to tell. But outside of that, no, they do not explicitly state there are X number of boxes.
So that's kind of, as the consumer, you're playing a game of what is the demand?
Yes. What does the market want in this product? Is the market like, hey, we don't want it, LaMelo Ball's hurt? Or is the market like, hey, I can break this, everybody will want it, I'm going to go buy it?
Yeah.
This will be.
And in your experience going into something like a Dutch auction, give me something, should you be like, it's kind of that, okay, do you get greedy and try to catch it on the super low, but you might miss it?
That's
How
what
about
I
on
did
the
with Prizm football?
You did that with Prizm football?
Yeah,
and
I
then
tried.
did you buy it on the secondary market?
No, I lost.
I bought a case of Prizm football. I got close to where I thought it was going to be, bought a case, and it sold out at the next level. But then there's times like limited football. I'm like, there's no way in hell this is going to ever get anywhere. This is going to drop way, way, way down. I'm going to wait. It didn't. And,
And you missed.
I missed, right? So Prizm football did well on, right? I got a case at a great price. Still have it, done very well on it. Limited, you miss, and it just, how bad do you want it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this will be interesting to say, because we talked about this earlier, what the market's going to look like. So we can hit on that next week on our next episode. But in the meantime, Card Talk Live will be out before then.
And if you listen to this after that, you'll be able to watch the run back of Card Talk Live on 1:37 p.m. YouTube.
So I got for this week, guys. Peace.